Okay, so we are live here on the second TADSummit Revisited, and we have Amit from Telestacks. I'll just show his picture. Hey, Amit. And we have
Hey guys.
Manjeet, who presented at TADSummit.
Hey
On,
guys.
there you go. So I keep
So,
forgetting the delay. There you go. You can say, hey, guys, again. So at least I catch one person.
Definitely.
So Manjeet did an excellent presentation talking about his company and which is Managed Tablets and how he's using telecom capabilities. So this is a chance for us to ask some more questions. So I did a weblog, published the fact that we've got this coming up. We've got 7 questions to run through. I've got the session live as well, so that if people want to ask any questions live, we've got that up and running as well. So let me just get down to the first question, which is, and this is to Manjeet, what are the problems you're trying to solve for your customers with managed tablets?
Okay. So first of all, the main thing that we are trying to focus is the market that we are focusing is what we call it as mobility management solution. So now, if you talk about the normal applications like a public application, so you have a Google Play Store, applications are hosted on the Google Play Store, and then anyone, all the customers can download the applications from there. But the main challenge comes when we are talking about private applications. So like one of our customer, so they have their own private applications, and they don't want that private applications to be hosted publicly on Google Play Store. Also, what they want to do
Mm-hmm.
is that is once they have those applications available, they want that application to be distributed to all their all their agents. Like, I mean, one of our main customer is Wari. So what they have is they have over 30,000 Wari points in which they have their agents sitting, which helps people in transferring money from one person to another across Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So what they wanted was they wanted a private app store. Also, what happens is whenever there are new features that are coming up, so they want the versions of those applications to be managed. So with the help of our managed application solution, so what they are doing is we have given them a solution in which they have a centralized server, that is a centralized Android server, through which they are able to push all the applications remotely. Now the agents, they don't need to install anything. They don't need to go click on any link. They do not need to see which version of application are running on their devices. They can just sit and relax. And also, now what they're doing is they're also managing the security of the devices. Now agents who are sitting maybe hundreds or thousands of kilometers apart, they don't really need to install any other application that are running on those devices. So just by centrally managing all the devices, the administrators can push applications, they can remove applications, they can manage versions. Also, if they want to install some application on a targeted area, like, I mean, last time they came up with some new feature and they only wanted to install that feature in a specific Nigeria location. So with the help of our solution, so they decided, okay, these are the 5,000 devices on which we want this new feature to be added, so they are able to do it remotely.
Gotcha,
Also,
gotcha.
uh, also in terms of, I mean, the managing the devices, they can do a lot of stuff like checking the locations. So now what they're doing is whenever they are giving any tablet to a specific agent, they can specify that this tablet should only work in a specific area, let's say only in one city in Lagos. So as soon as the agent travels out of that location, so automatically the devices tell them that is okay, the tablet is moving from this location to some other location, and they can decide whether they want to lock that application, they want that application to be running in some other mode, or like that. So they can manage all those devices.
Gotcha.
Also, then they can do a lot of stuff like, I mean, whenever their agents are facing any problems, so they can directly communicate with their agents. They can see their application logs directly, that is whether the applications are running perfectly or not. If they're facing any problem with the application, they can remotely troubleshoot their applications just sitting in their offices.
Gotcha, gotcha. Cool. Are there any other sort of use cases that you solve? Because I think the managed device one very clear, and that's a good one. Some of the others that you were mentioning were more on the consumer side, so interested to understand what you're doing there.
Correct, correct. So in consumer, like that is in the B2C space. So we are targeting one of the main segment, that is the kids segment, and the other segment that we are targeting is senior citizen. So usually senior citizens are not very tech savvy, and let's say if I'm sitting in Delhi and my father is in some remote location. So if I want to send him a tablet, so he cannot manage the tablet, he cannot install applications, he cannot use it. So what we give to our consumers is that is they can log in into this centralized server. They can specify, okay, these 5 application needs to be configured on the tablet. So they can remotely send those applications directly on the tablets. Also, if their parents are facing any problem, so they can just directly take the control of the device and they can configure some application, and they can even show how to use that particular application, and they can even again see the location if their parents are traveling or anything, so they can even track the location of the tablets with their centralized solution.
Yeah, no, I really feel that one. It's like, just some of the problems we have with Skype with my parents, and they'll claim something really weird is happening on their laptop, and the number of times I just want to be able to go in and say, no, ignore that window. This is what you need to, because you can't see,
Exactly, exactly. So explaining them becomes very difficult, but with the help of our solution, you can even see the screen of your parents' tablet, and then you can tell them, okay, click here or do that, or you can take the control and help them with
Oh,
that.
yes, that's it. Just hold it.
Correct.
Cool. No, that's excellent, Manjeet. Now, I asked you this question in Lisbon, but I'll ask it again because hopefully you had a time to think about it. What do you think is the total addressable market for managed tablets?
Okay, so for the mobility management system,
Hmm.
as per the case studies that has been done by EMM, so the
Hmm.
current market size is approximately $3 billion, which is growing, and
Yeah,
by 2018, so it is supposed to be around $7.5 billion market.
gotcha, gotcha. Excellent, excellent. So that's a nice, interesting figure. So this is definitely a big market. And what's the sort of growth rate that they're predicting?
The growth rate they are predicting is approximately currently it's growing by about 8 to 10%,
Okay.
but it's gonna grow in this current year and next year.
Cool. Okay. Well, hey, growth is growth, and when you're that size
Yes.
of market, that's interesting. So, part of the challenge with small businesses is making sales. So, I'm interested. How do you reach your potential customers for managed tablets?
That's a good question. So we are trying to reach through you also, but we are following our normal channels also. That is, we are doing some outbound sales. Then we are writing a lot of information in forums. Then we are doing online marketing. We are educating our customers that these kind of solutions are also available. And then we have certain targeted customers that we are focusing on, like banking, insurance, or the money transfer kind of applications, as well as shipping is another vertical that we are targeting. So usually we go and to our customers, we try to educate them, okay, this kind of solutions are also available. And then again, online marketing is what we are using a lot. And platform like yours is
Yeah.
helping us a lot.
No, that's great.
I'm,
Yeah, and
I'm sure TED,
go for it.
I'm sure TEDSummit is playing a major role in that. So more and more of TED hacks has to be happening in Delhi from now on.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. I think that we need to have for TATAC Global, we need to be seeing lots of hacks running on Pinnock. We need to see some cool managed tablet hacks. So that
Correct.
brings me on actually to understand some of the challenges you faced in implementing interactive video-based customer support, because this is really where Amit and his technology has been sort of key for part of your proposition. So we're just interested to get, as a consumer of this technology, what are some of the challenges you've had, Manjeet?
Yes. So definitely this is again, was a main pain area that we face whenever. I'll give an example, like one of our customer, shipping customer that we are using.
Hmm.
So when they deployed those tablets on 10,000 of their ships, so the next challenge was interacting with the end users. So Previously, they were trying to interact them with the help of phones, but again, on ships, phone calls are like very costly. So what they wanted is they wanted a cheap and better solution in which they can actually interact with the end customers. So that was when we started looking for different solutions. We got in touch with Telestax and Amit, and then they suggested us the WebRTC based solutions that can be used for making video calls, interactive services that can be used with WebRTC to directly communicate with our end customer and at a much cheaper price.
Yeah, that's a great case. Again, it's these practical use cases because it is ship-to-shore communications is just ridiculous in terms of prices, and being able to disrupt that using WebRTC, it's a great case study. So, Amit, in those type of use cases, have you needed to make like any customizations or optimizations? Because I would imagine in ship-to-shore, you've got a lot of challenges to make interactive video communications work reliably.
No, so basically, Alan, what we helped Elucid with is they obviously come from non-telco background. So one of the biggest challenges they had is how to decrypt all the protocols that telco puts in front. They didn't understand anything about SS7. They didn't understand anything about SIP. They didn't understand anything about WebRTC or even satellite network. So the biggest challenge they had in front of them was how to create this solution without spending months and months to understand the lowest layers.
Yeah.
And that's the place where Telestex played a major role by exposing the simple RESTful HTTP API that they embedded in their Pinnick tablet and application for their agents. So the APIs help them to create this wonderful application which exposes the video calling for them, be it on tablet or be it on browser host or for the agents who are sitting on the call center. And within no time, I don't think I'm exaggerating, but within just a few days, they were able to create this video calling application, which was amazing because they were expecting somewhere around months for this kind of application. So that's the place where Telestex can solve this kind of business problems. And regarding this special requirement where they have a crunch on the bandwidth, we didn't provide any customized solution as if, but Telestex platform does provide a lot of flexibility in terms of what kind of codecs you can use, and you can limit the codec. For example, maybe you can use G729, which is of course patented, but we know that it uses way less bandwidth compared to G711 or any other codecs. So that way you can still go ahead and have a lowest level control while still you can do a development using the simple RESTful HTTP API to solve your business problem.
Yeah, I think that's a key point that you make. In the communications business, we can't make it simple enough. I think if we look at history, and Dan Burnett, who's one of the WebRTC standards guys, has made this comment. In history, it needs to be as simple as possible and even simpler. So I think that that's a great example you give about how you've abstracted it to make it as easy as possible for Manjeet to be able to use and solve his customers' problems. So moving back to you, Manjeet, I'm just interested, do you have any other sort of case studies around the use of interactive video-based customer support?
Yes, so I mean, another case study that we are currently working on is for one of our African customer.
Mm-hmm.
So in Africa, the challenge is that is in some places internet quality is good, and in some other places internet quality is not so good.
Yeah.
So completely relying on internet-based support was becoming a challenge. So what we are doing is we are just working with our customer for creating a mixture of both the kind of services. So usually what happens is whenever any agent or any person is trying to make a call, so we first try to identify the kind of connection they have, internet connection they have. If the internet connection is good enough, so then we are using a WebRTC call to the customer care. If the internet connection is not so good, so we are just trying to reroute the calls directly through the telcos and then lending it in the call center of our customer. So that's like one area we are working with them to create a seamless solution so that they don't face any problem with their customer care support applications.
Yeah, I think that's a great example. It's just the reality that in a lot of such scenarios, it doesn't work all the time. And creating that simplicity for the end customer so it works across whatever connection they have available. So that's great, Manjeet. Excellent.
Exactly.
So again, you're coming up with all these case studies, solving customers' problems, and the reality of the world we are in today. I'm just interested on what are your plans to grow this business, because it seems you're solving lots of customers' problems. So the opportunities for growth must be immense.
Exactly. So now, I mean, we are getting into partnership with a lot of customers. Like, I mean, currently we are getting into partnership with the education firm. So what they want is now they want to completely move into a tablet-based solution in which they want to give one tablet to all their customers. That is, I mean, in college students, so they want to give them one tablet, and then what they want is whenever they are coming up with some new syllabus, some new of the content, whenever they're coming out with new content, so they keep wanting to push the content on those tablets. So if the student is currently in first year of his graduation, so the first year content is going to be pushed. Whenever he moves to the second year, so the second year content is going to be pushed onto their tablets, and then they are coming up with small examination tests so that whenever they want, so they can actually push some tests and exams, and students can actually give those exams. So we are just tying up with similar kind of solutions, and trying to create a integrated solution which can become a one-stop solution for our customers.
Excellent, excellent. I mean, education is a massive sector. I can see lots of opportunities there. So I guess one area, we keep hearing this word smart, all these smart devices, yet even though they're smart, people keep having more and more problems with them. I hear smart home, and I find myself, because I'm known as a geek in my neighborhood, ending up having to solve people's problems with all these smart devices. And I'm just thinking, a managed tablet, wouldn't that be interesting to be able to, not just in terms of managing the tablet, but being able to go out and manage all these smart devices? So I'm just interested in whether you think having an agent remotely in your home can be used for other devices in solving tech support, not just the tablet itself.
No, exactly. It's really I mean a good possible opportunity for us, because now, I mean, again, so the technology is growing at such a high pace. So I mean, definitely a lot of support is required. So that's what we are trying to achieve. That is, once the entire communication channel becomes seamless, so then we are actually trying to put up a kind of a support solution also available, in which that is through the video they can show that is what exactly are the hardware or software they are using, and then the tech support guys can actually try and give them some steps and suggestions, what are the troubleshooting steps they can actually take for solving their problems.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's really a good idea, and then
because it's one of those where a lot of the sort of problems I see is it's just people will press a button, and it's like, no, you have to press and hold the button until the light changes. Dumb stuff
Exactly.
like that, and then the problem solved. It's like, oh my God, you're a miracle worker. You solved it. No, you didn't read the instructions. That seems to be the problem with all these smart devices.
Exactly. No,
So
that's a really good solution.
Yeah. Cool. So I'm just, just to wrap up, I mean, Amit, Manjeet, is that, any other points you'd like to raise? Or, again, I've just grabbed some questions that people have sort of sent in to us, but if there's anything else, any questions you'd like to ask yourselves, please do so.
So just one thing from my end, Manjeet, you said that you are trying to solve the problem for one of your customers who's based in Africa, which smartly moves between internet and the PSTN world. I believe you used Telestack's platform. Just trying to understand what exactly did you use and how did you manage to achieve that?
Correct. So we are using definitely the Telestack's platform. So usually on the devices, what we are doing is, I mean, we are anyhow using the Android Android APKs that are provided by Telestacks. So before making any call, so we just try to make sure that the connection is stable, the bandwidth of the internet is fine. If that is fine, so we are using the Android SDK of Telesex, and we are just sending the calls through the RESTCOM, which is landing on the RESTCOM server, and then sending it to the customer care support center that is available for our customer. However, on the other end, if the internet connectivity is not stable, so then we are trying to build a solution through which a phone call can be just initiated directly to the customer care center, and then they can actually get the support from phone calls also.
Cool. Oh, that's great.
Very
Again, I think
interesting.
that's it's showing if you make a platform dumb enough, simple enough, then your customers can get in and start adapting it to their specific needs. So again, it all comes back to this: make it as simple as possible, so that people can just get in and start making these. I mean, it's a small change, just using some of the APIs available in the sort of Android APK that Telestax provides, but it enables you to solve real-world problems quickly, and in doing that, it just locks in the customer. So that's, again, I think it's a nice example of make the technology as simple as possible, and having I guess, customers that are creating these services that can adapt to their end customer specific needs. So this is a great case study. So anything else, guys, or shall we wrap it up, because we are actually just a couple of minutes over time?
No, that's it from my side.
That's it from my side also.
Cool. Well, Amit, Manjeet, thank you so much, and I wish you the best of luck in growing this company, because I think you're solving a very compelling problem, and you've got some excellent use cases. Again, thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you again soon.